Welcome to Crew Life at Sea podcast. Here, we will share the skills you need to make your experience and adventure out at sea a success. Hear inspiring stories from experienced crew from all diversities. Gain knowledge and know your rights. Be part of the Crew Life at Sea. And let's welcome your host, Raymond Crystal.
Hi, welcome to Crew Life at Sea. Today we are in Funchal, Madeira. The ship is docked, and I thought it would be a good topic today to talk about cruise ship scams. So please excuse any unfortunate sounds that you might hear, like a guy jogging next to me, cars passing by, people ranting away while walking across me. But we're on the streets walking and doing this podcast out and about. Sometimes it's kind of interesting, things can happen on the way. So there are a few topics that I'd like to cover, but first let's start with the main one, which is the email. So all of a sudden you get this email: you have been offered a job on this cruise ship and you're getting this amount of money, and you need to do this and this, and they're all their details. And so what you got to remember is the proper way that this is done, the legit way from a proper cruise liner or agency. First, you apply with the agency or you apply on the cruise ship. Then you get an email from the recruiter asking you or telling you that you have been, shortlisted, and they want to interview you. That's the first procedure. Okay. Once that's done, they will set up an interview, and then maybe another one. Normally there's two. First one is your character and your building, and see how you are as a person and find out more about you. The second interview is more on your technical side, depending on what job. That's the proper procedure. The fake or the scam way is you get a document, an email, and they're saying you've already been approved, you don't need to be interviewed, and that just is bollocks. So if you get an email and they're saying, yes, you have already been approved, we just need you to pay for this, you've done this, and it's incorrect, it's a scam. The reason why I'm actually decided to do this today was I actually got an email from one of my clients asking me to validate a document. So I asked him to send me all the details. He sent me the email that he received, and he also sent me the contract that they offered him. And I started to laugh, because in the contract it states there you will get £4,000 a month. And obviously, guys, if it's too good to be true, it's not. You're not going to get offered £4,000 a month. But in saying that, they ask you to get a visa, they ask you to pay for these little things. And so in there he asked for 300 and something pounds to get the visa. Then they asked for another 100 and something pounds to do this, and so overall it came up to like 600. So in order for him to get this job, which is going to make £4,000, he had to spend 600 to get all this approved paperwork and visas and that, but which is all a lie. So what they would normally do is you would get these emails which look like they are proper emails from proper companies, but they're not. They've been forged in the system, and you can make any email nowadays and have it say anything. So there are ways to validate or take away these bad temptations of getting involved in this. So the first thing you can do is, when you get the contract, study the contract, look at it carefully. Well, look, obviously, first of all, you can send it to us if you'd like, because we do it, and you just go to www.CREWLIFEATSEA.com, go to our services tab and go down to validation, and then there you can just upload the file, It goes to our validation department, they check it out, and then they will send it back to you within 15 minutes to 6 hours, depending on the contract or how much research is needed to be done. Okay, but now back to the you can do yourself kind of point. So what you've got to do is look at the contract and look at the logo, or the company logo. Most of the time it'll be pixelated when it's fake. Pixelated means they've downloaded the picture somewhere, they've stretched it from somewhere, and they've made it, enlarged it. So it's obvious that when you see sorry, I was distracted there. One guy had one of these flying little, what are these things that go in the air? Wow, very nice little gadget. It looks very expensive. Anyway, back. So sometimes the image, most of the time, the image is not clear. It's got marks in it. It's blurry. It's you can see it's damaged. It's not clear, contrasted image. And another thing you can look at is if they've put it on multiple times. Because the guy who sent me his one today, there was 3 times they put that logo in 3 locations: the top, the middle, and the bottom. You're overdoing it. You obviously, on a original contract, you only get one. And it's a really classy one. Nowadays they put in these certified, like I don't know how to call them, certified stamp kind of a thing, but like when you remove the page it like glows and shines at a different angle and some text appears. These certified stamps that they use in big companies like Royal Caribbean do, and a few others. So that's the first thing to do. Then look at all the details. So what they do is they go online and they research and they get the company name and the company details, and they put on their website on there, they put on some guy's name who's a CEO on there, and all this stuff, and they make as if they're that person. So what you can do then is go onto the website and check excuse me, go and you check if they have that ship, and you go and you research, you can check if that ship is what port it's in. For example, maybe it's going to be in Barcelona in the 20th of March, and this guy's offered you a contract on the 20th of March, just say for example, and he says it's in Alaska. It's not true because the ship's not even there and you verified it. So that's one way you can do it. Another way is you can email the actual companies and ask them to please check. This is a little difficult because they always have many things on their plate, and to get them to do the things. That's why we offer this service, because we know exactly where to go and how to approach this. So once you've done that, then you can, if you print the paper out, you print the page out, if you look carefully, you can also see that each word has got a lot of pixels around it, or the job position that you're looking for. Let's say you're a security officer, and the job position security officer, that text is clear, amazingly, you can read it perfectly, it's contrasted well, you can see it has been typed in from a computer, but the rest of the contract is all blurry and pixelated. That's because it's fake. He's copied it, and all he did was just delete the name out and put his job title for you, so he could get you to believe that it's for you. So that's another thing to check at. There's many other things involved, little things that you can also look at, but we don't have to go into that in depth. If you really want, just send it to us. We will be more than willing to help. We'll give you a stamp which will state if it's a scam or if it's real, and then if you want, we can give you a detailed list of what we did, so that you would know next time if you want to try and do it yourself, or you can just send it back to us. Either or, not a problem. Another topic, payments. Excuse me. Don't ever pay anybody to ever do anything when it comes to the cruise ship. Everything is free. Only people that charge are sometimes agents, that you go into the office, you've seen the agent, you've been there, you've seen the ship load, you've been to the agent, you know what I mean? Then you know they're legit. They've given you proper documents, you've done proper interviews. They may ask you for a little bit of a fee for services, but normally they get paid when you get hired sometimes, but they do sometimes ask. But besides that, nobody else can take money from you. It's fake. It's a scam. Anybody who wants money from you is trying to snake you 100%. So take that in account. So what else we can talk about? So there, back to the process of how it works. You have to have interviews. There's no such thing as where you're going to get a job without an interview. I don't know how or who believes that. It's like me saying, let's get married, and I don't even know you, to some girl. You've got to know the people. They've got to see who you are, how you react to questions, how do you handle the situations in the ship. Are you really good at what your job is, or are you just saying that just to get the job? They need to question you. They need to check exactly who they're hiring. They're going to be spending a lot of money on you. They're going to be paying for depending on your job, they're going to be paying for your air ticket. They're going to pay you back for your medical, depending on the company. They're going to spend a lot of money on you. And in order for them, they need to check who their clients are. So it's not just a walk in the park where you're going to, here's your contract, you got it, boom. So it happened to me. I'll tell you of an example. I was offered a job with the Windstar Cruises, but I had a feeling in the beginning, but I was a little bit excited because the money was so high and it just seemed really good. But at that time I didn't notice the contract, the logo thing. I was still new to this. So what I did was, I applied. The guy came back, looked like it was very professional. The bottom part of the signature of the email looked professional. Even the email said Windstar whatever. Everything looked real and legit. Then he said, you need to get an Australian visa, go online. So what they do is they go actually to the actual Australian embassy online, where you can download the forms, and they just tell you to fill that out and send it back to them. But when they ask you to send it back, they've made another email which is fake, which says the Australian embassy.gov.au or whatever they're doing it. You really think it's the Australian embassy. So I was like, wow, could be really legit. So filled it out, sent it to them, sent them all my details, visa, passport copy. They had everything of mine. And then I get it back, an email saying, okay, now you need to pay this amount, at this amount. And then I knew straight away it's fake. So do you understand where I'm getting at? They try to suck you in. They get you like to 80%, and then they say, now you have to pay. And then the people that don't know or have no idea about this, or the first timers, you guys are going to pay because you really think it's a real deal, but it's not. And the only way you're going to learn is if you pay and get snaked and realize what you just did. And I don't want that to happen, because it's happened to me. I haven't paid for it ever because I knew, but I don't want it to happen to either of you guys out there. So what I suggest is just send it to me. We can do it for you. We'll check it for you. We'll send it straight back to you within the appropriate time, and you'll know if it is or isn't. So I don't know what else we could talk about this, but make sure, as I said again, I'll just say one more time, never pay for any application to go on a cruise ship or work on a cruise ship, ever. It's a scam. Only some agents will ask for some sort of a fee for their services, depending on your country and depending on their circumstances. You can always apply online at the actual agent, which you can come to CREWLIFEATSEA. We have a whole list of all the agents. You can go there and apply to all of the ones you need. We also have a list of all the recruiting agents in your country. So they're the ones who will call you, email you, tell you to go into their office. Then they will tell you what they want, they will interview you there, and then they will do their whole thing. And also another thing is, a good way to get a cruise ship job is when they do cruise fair events. So what that is they will get hold of all the agents in that country, let's say South Africa, and they'll say, look, we're coming in on the 21st of April, we need to recruit this month. Then they will get hold of you, the recruiter, and they'll say, we have an event at this time, at this place, please can you be there? And like 10 to 100 people, how many candidates they have, will all attend this meeting, and all day you'll be there being interviewed and sit there, and it's a long day, and they interview you, and then after that for sure you know if you got a job there or not. But these things don't happen so often, but they happen, continuously. So you always got to have a look out for that. If you apply to my mailing list, once we know, we send out emails telling you guys which countries are going to have it and everything. Crew Life at Sea is a very, very informative way for you guys to know everything and anything you need to know about cruise ships, when it comes to jobs, when it comes to scams, when it comes to new ships, when it comes to what's available, what's not available, anything that you really need help with. So join us and be a part of us. We are amazing services out there just to assist you guys in anything you need. We're one of a kind. We have also a lot of podcasts which are there to help you. You can check that on the page, or we interview a lot of job titles like casino dealer, hotel director, and you can hear, and I ask them all the questions about their job, so you can better understand what's going to happen when you get on a ship. Some things you will never know unless you hear some of these podcasts, because when you get a job at sea, they don't tell you quite a lot of things until you get on the ship and you have to get put in the deep end and try to swim and save yourself from a lot of crazy stuff. So I hope that this podcast about scams helped you a little bit. If you have any questions or any queries or anything, just send me an email to CREWLIFEATSEA@infogroup.com. We will reply to you as soon as we can, and we want to thank you for your undivided support, and welcome aboard Crew Life at Sea. See you all later, guys. Ciao.
Thanks for listening to Crew Life at Sea podcast. Want any of your questions answered? Send us an email at CREWLIFEATSEA@infogroup.com. Thank you for being a part of our adventure at sea.